Hi everybody, this is Diane. I have my glue book collection finally finished. Despite illness, weariness, all of the nesses, they're done. So I have one of them that's already reserved, and this one is mine because my glue book is almost filled up. So I created my new one right along with these. So I'm not going to do a flip through of this one. I'll just show you how the cover ended up. All the glue books have similar pages. So there's the cover I chose for mine. Sorry for the glare. This is a very shiny book, and I use this beadsack fabric in a vintage rickrack and bead dangle. So that's what mine looks like. I didn't put anything on the inside. I don't even have a pocket on the back. I think the other ones all have a pocket somewhere near the back. And this is the one that was reserved, so I will flip through this one last. The other ones will be available in my shop. And just so you know, if you watched a video where I was making the covers, I went ahead and made a complete spine, forgetting that I was going to do a hidden spine, so that I didn't have to sew through that. So I did a video again showing how I would make the hidden spine. It's really thick. It was a thick spine anyway. And then I added another piece of thin chipboard, but another layer of that and another piece of fabric. So it's pretty thick there. But I showed how I would incorporate a hidden spine into this book, so I did. So we'll flip through this one last. So the ones that are available are, we'll just go through one at a time and be pretty quick because there isn't much decoration inside. A couple of pockets and that's about it. This one is called Tower Window. It's from the My Book House series, and this book is from the Tower Window. Beautiful illustration on the front, beautiful white cover in really good condition. And I put this pretty fabric on the spine, and I used 3 different colors of waxed thread for each of the dangles, and then matched the beads to the fabrics and covers. This one has some pretty, I like this one, and some of these beads came from vintage jewelry, but I think most of the beads on this one are just new beads that I got at the craft stores, but this one is probably from vintage jewelry, and this one maybe. I just don't remember. The spines are 2.5 inches to allow lots of room for gluing, because these are meant to be glue books. I did not cover the end papers, so the pocket on the back isn't on the back cover, it's on the back page, and it's excuse me, it's a little paper sack. I think I got this in Happy Meal, and I put a scrap of cardstock in there that you can glue a collage onto, and this is a tiny little pocket. It only goes down to here, and I just folded up a guest check and tucked it in there so you can glue on that or write on it. I made this little book plate for you. This is wallpaper, and this is a sheet of pattern paper for crafting patterns. This is from a vintage book, but it's not as old. It's a Sears and Roebuck catalog reproduction, but I don't know what kind of I think it came out of a Time Life book or something. It was a big one. So I saved that with my large papers to use in larger journals. Scrapbook paper. There's another craft book page. Currier and Ives calendar. I still have a bunch of these Currier and Ives calendars in my shop. This came from a vintage school workbook or something. This came from a scrapbook that was sold in craft stores like Joann's, so you were supposed to like decorate the cover and then assemble the scrapbook with ribbons and stuff. I just took a page, and you can have fun tying something through there. Scrapbook paper again. There's music paper. There are calendar pages. This is just a plain white sheet. It was a very large white sheet. I don't know what it was for. I may have gotten it in Happy Mail because I don't remember getting it from anything, and it's got a very slight texture to it. This is one of those garden binding book pages, or binder pages. Pencil mark there. Thought it was a piece of hair. So we've got more wallpaper, and all of the books this time pretty much run the same kinds of paper in the same order. There's a coloring book page that it's a small page, and I combined it with something else you'll see on the other side. Here's one of the pockets. It's just from a stencil book, and it's quite thick, and another scrap of paper. A book about retro stuff. Map page. A book about art. This one, instead of the garden binder, it was a craft binder. This was a sewing section. This is a Peanuts calendar. And I glued this felt pennant. This was all strung together. I just cut it and glued a pennant into each journal. So you can pick that up and do a collage underneath it. And this is what was attached to that coloring page. It was a spiral bound calendar, Peanuts calendar. So it wasn't the kind you'd hang on a wall. And you have wallpaper here, and I left this piece of paper just absolutely plain, which is hard to do because I always want to decorate stuff, but make a little glue book collage on it. And this is a calendar page from 2004, and each of the pages had a different artist featured on it. So pretty similar pages. This is a teacher's planning book. There's one with large pages. Magazine page. Lots of fun things to add glue book collages to. And I will put my signature on here somewhere. So there's lots of space. You can see how close that is together. So as you glue it up, it'll fill up more and more. I should show you my glue book. I mean, you've probably seen it if you watch my channel a lot, so you can see how much it fills up. Let me go grab it. This book, I counted the pages in the signatures of this book to tell me how many signatures to put in, and the spine, I believe, is the same size. Yep, 2.5-inch spine and the same amount of pages inside, and it's almost done, and so it's filled up like that. So it's still not a gator mouth, So I thought it was a good size. And I have more to glue into it, so it will get a little fatter, but it's still got lots of room. So that is Tower Window. Next is Golden Encyclopedia, and it features a collage on the front, so it already has the feel of a glue book. And it's got the brown tones and purples and other colors, and I went with more browns and purples for the beading. And even this brown fabric has slightly purple hues in it. So I think that everything works really well together color-wise. I think it turned out pretty. And it has 2 owl beads. One is a purple owl and one is a brown owl. And this bead, I love that one. This was one of my necklaces from probably the 90s. I made, before I realized I really didn't care for purple, I made myself a purple blouse. And I had this necklace with different shapes of these purple beads with gold beads in between. You know, it was 90s. So that's from that necklace. Look at this. Looks like a wrapped raffia bead or something. So it's got a lot of fun beads on it. And just a quick share of what's inside. This is a Mrs. Coggs book plate. And I took a patchwork piece to make a pocket back here, and it has that calendar card. Here's a pocket here from, I think I got this in a Happy Mail. It's just a card or something, and it says, it's a medal, and it says I done real good. So you can say that to yourself when you get to the back of your book. This just has a cut off scrap tucked into it. So the same kinds of pages, and I did have to sew extra pieces of scrapbook paper to make the pages wide enough. Some of them aren't. It's fine to have smaller size pages in your glue book, but I wanted some of them to be the full height and width. This one is. And this was just a paper that I had on my desk when I was spraying one day. Calendar page, wallpaper, atlas page, career knives. This is a cover of a planner book, I think. And this was Italian. I got this with a pack of Italian paper from Rachel at Roxy Creations. So you can see it's pretty much the same kinds of papers. This one has the lid to like a decorative cardboard insert on the lid of a Folgers coffee can. I got that one and an elephant one in a Happy Mail a long time ago, and I'm so happy that I finally got to use them. There's the pennant. This is the coloring book page and the Snoopy calendar page. 6:59 is the worst time of day. You know that alarm's going to go off in 1 minute. And the gardening binder page. So that one is Golden Encyclopedia. Then we have the big storybook, and this was fun. I pieced together different fabrics to make the spine, and then used these brightly colored wooden beads. And these are all from Michael's, I think. It was either Michael's or Joann's. It had their beads on sale. I think it was, I don't know. It was one of the craft stores. And I got several strings of these beads in different shapes, and they were perfect for this. I will give you the measurements for each of these at the end. I forgot to do that. So this is the only book that was wide enough for one of these envelopes. It looks like a record sleeve, And I punched this out with my 2.5-inch circle punch and stamped that on to put in the center. And here's the card for it. It says Celebrate Party Mix. Really fun. And here's the other Folgers Coffee cardboard insert. So we'll just kind of look for the pockets, and I definitely put in some circus elements. Like, that's why I put the elephant here. This is from a book of art, and that is actually a portrait of Katharine Hepburn. It has her name on the other side. And I had a big book that featured circus posters. So there's one of those pages in each signature. Here's a big envelope. I put a piece of cardstock in there. You can make a collage on there. And this was from a book. It says Mark Twain on Being a Clown. And this was from a circus book also. Photo of Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, 3-ring circus. You can see the 3 rings there, and seating all around there. What a spectacle, huh? There's another page. The 3 Mechners. So they look like tumblers. He's up in the air. Trapeze artists. And I cut this end of the envelope open and put another piece of cardstock in there. Another circus poster. Another piece of art here. And here it says Katharine Hepburn, done by Alexander Brooke. And I included a fresh roasted peanuts bag. I got a set of bags from Amazon with peanuts, popcorn, and a pickle bag. So I included the peanut and the popcorn bag in this journal. There's wallpaper here. I've never seen a wallpaper with the craft backing. Maybe it's not really wallpaper, because I don't know how you would apply that to the wall. Just paste, I guess. Music paper, circus posters. An 8-year-old clown, Charles Chaplin. An article about him from a book. This is from a circus, and they are reenacting The Wizard of Oz, looks like. There's Dorothy, and there's one of the soldiers. The wizard has a clown face, but he's in the hot air balloon. And there's a hobo clown. I just had the string that goes here, right here on my desk. Oh, here it is. So I will reattach that. I found this on the floor, so I'll make sure that gets reattached. And then you can close that up, and then you can open it up and collage on it, put things inside it, whatever you would like to do. This had stationery inside of it when I bought it, and I think I got it at a estate sale. Otto Griebling is the name of that hobo clown. A little boy feeding an elephant with 2 clowns helping him. Wallpaper. And this pocket here, I think that was in the other journals. I must have just bypassed it. At least it's in some of them. I had to cut it off in some of the books. I think all of them, actually. They were pretty tall. They look like they're made out of file folder or just cream-colored cardstock, and somebody sent them to me. And I thought they were pretty neat. So you can do a collage here, and I just put a scrap in there that you can also collage on. This piano book has some stamps in it that the teacher must have done when the student did a good job on their music. Here's a envelope. You just put a piece of cardstock in there. Trapeze artist. Some tigers. I'm about a day behind. Ask me something I should have known yesterday. Yeah, that's about right. So glue books are pretty fun to make. They don't require a ton of effort. It was more difficult for me this time because I've been sick, and I did take the time to make these, which it took me quite a bit of time to string all the beads on today, so but it's worth it. It's fun and eclectic, and I think it just adds to the glue book fun. Now I'll quickly go through the Compendium book, if you want to see that. And the person who reserved it probably wants to see it. It has burgundy and green and kind of a faded gold, like an old gold. And I did show the construction, how I put this cover together. This spine was actually attached over here as a flap because this was a salesman's book. So it had a very thin spine, but it did have this spine attached over here to show the potential customer what the spine would look like if they purchased the book. And it also came with this spine glued down here. So this other one was flapped here, and this was glued down, so in case they wanted a different cover, this is what it would look like. So I'm going to glue some paper here and include this with the book as a bookmark. And this one has a 3-inch spine because that was the width of the original spine. This is in better shape and not faded like the cover because it was on the inside. So I use these beads in burgundies or reds, green, I use some off-white, I use some gray. Oh, I forgot to do a collage on the back to cover up some of that. So I had talked about, I forgot to mention this, these journals that I did first, I forgot to put an eyelet in there for the bead dangle. And then this one, before I sewed the signatures in, and then I couldn't put an eyelet in. And this one was too thick for an eyelet to actually go through. And one of my viewers reminded me about these things, which I have quite a lot of them. So that worked. That would go through. The peg thing that pokes up, the screw that pokes up was long enough to screw this on, and then I could attach the dangle. And it was a little bit tricky to poke the hole in and get this piece in there, but I did it. So yay, they're done. All right, now back to the compendium. I think this is a digital, but I don't know where I got it. It's very pretty. And a map scrapbook paper. Same kinds of papers in here, but there are more pages. There are 5 signatures in this one. I'll put the number of signatures in the listings. There are 13 pages, folded pages in each of these journals, and 3 signatures. So I'll do that math and put that in the listing. And this one has 5 signatures with 10 folded pages in each. So this one does have more pages, and it took a little more finagling to do the spine with the odd way that it was made. So this is from a drum instruction book. I have it with my music papers because there is music score. in that book. This is from an atlas, but it's a different sort of page. It's heavier and it's gorgeous. Don't you think these pages would be fun to glue images onto? I want to start gluing in one right away. I have one to start gluing in, but I want to finish the one I have, the one I'm working on first. So I guess, did I not put any pockets in here? I think I did. There's the pennant. This was the first one. No, it wasn't. It's not the first one I made. Yeah, here's one of the pockets. I'll have to put something in there. There's only a couple pockets in them. I think the circus one had more because I used the peanut and popcorn bags. And I don't know, I don't really want a lot of pockets in my glue books. I just want to glue on the pages. But a couple pockets are fun, like that one. Because you can glue on this pocket and you can do a collage on the card that goes inside. You can still do a collage up here, glue something up there. It just causes you to think a little more when you have to work around things, I think. And then this pocket here. And this doesn't have anything in it either, so I'll have to put something in there. I've got a little more work to do on this one, finishing the bookmark and putting things in the pockets. And for one of them, I have to add the string to the envelope thing. So that's what I have. This will be reserved. And in the listings, that one's mine. In the listings, there will be the Golden Encyclopedia, the Big Storybook, and Tower Window. And these will all be listed in my shop when you see this video. So follow the link below and it will take you to my shop. Thank you all so much for your kind support, your words of concern while I've been under the weather. And somebody suggested that I might have COVID because of the weariness that I feel. And I was wondering that myself. I did not get tested. And I'm feeling better today, although still tired. I'm on the way, I think. So thank you for your concern, and I'll see you again in the next video. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.